Welcome to today's exciting story. A spy accidentally becomes the deputy of a crime organization, and Jack's adventure begins. Jack took out the transport guy and turned him into a balloon, really taking moving to a whole new level. But unexpectedly, things happened so fast that he hadn't even had time to handle the aftermath, instead enjoying the sea breeze. Don't let those muscles fool you, he's got brains. To dodge the guards at the door, he decided to become a marine athlete. Outside, Duffy was puzzled and about to message Jack when he spotted a taro monster in the distance, totally shocked. No wonder he mentioned needing fresh clothes. It felt like surfing. Jack wasted no time and started changing right there. He only had 2 hours to go back, and seeing this, Duffy also decided to hunt for another undercover, Teresa's Lee. Let's hit the transport company together. Duffy took out his lock-picking tools like a pro, but Jack's face was reading security breach, had barely been here 2 days and already felt at home. He knew no one worked late, so he left the body behind confidently. Just as he thought about where to bury Angie, Duffy was on a roll too. Duffy grabbed the notebook from the desk and began the big search, but this warehouse was so huge, it was like a game of hide and seek, and they found nothing as stolen. Jack suddenly had a brainwave looking at the containers. They were as airtight as fridges. He remembered Ang's handgun. This thing might come in handy later. Then he casually tossed the key food suspect to body hidden inside. He headed back to the office. What a return to work session. The real problem was the blood cleanup, and just as they were scrubbing, a car honked outside. Ang's little minions had arrived. Jack's heart raced, but he couldn't shoot. A bullet hole would turn the office into a party zone. No choice, they had to lurk around the corner for an ambush. Jack took them out in one shot, like hitting a bullseye. Duffy struggled a bit since he was all about brains, not brawn. Good thing Jack arrived right on time. With one swing, Jack saved Duffy from being in over his head. Although there were now 2 more bodies to deal with, Jack had already cooked up a body disposal plan. After cleaning up the blood, they hurried back to the shore, but during the earlier stripping, the mood felt a bit warm. They locked eyes for a moment, and finally, Jack broke the silence with the "Good night, what a gentle killer." Jack swam back to base under cover of darkness. Stashang is gone in the salt route, and even had time for a nap. The next day at work, Prospect was in a rush but couldn't find Angie. Jack smugly said, "I got this." Though he hadn't completely earned the organization's trust yet, he got to shop with the young master. And hey, being a bodyguard had its perks. Richard spilled the beans that his dad was just a puppet. The real boss was a guy named Mikey, and Duke and Ramai were the watchers. They were interested in Beck's transport routes, and Jack had a light bulb moment. How about a little workforce reduction? He contacted Duffy, saying he had to send the ranks and make people finding easy by eliminating. The crew had already located the spot where Richard was kidnapped, along with an FBI safe house address, and sent them off. So that night, Jack was ready to steal the show grand entrance style. But before the action, Richard ran into some little brats who even threw punches at Jack, a totally ridiculous scene. Jack held no fear for these brats. Though Richard's dad was a jerk, Richard was a decent kid and treated Jack to ice cream after. Jack wasn't a fan of the flavor and encouraged Richard to be independent, ready to go anywhere without being dragged down. He'd just stuff the cash in his bag and bounce, while Richard ended up disliking the flavor too, just passively accepting the recommendation. Jack's arrival undoubtedly changed Richard. From then on, he aimed to live for himself. Duffy's email was also working its magic. Beck began assembling the crew. As the key player, Jack naturally had to join in, but before heading out, he made a beeline for the bathroom. He dashed into the villa and raced to the beach to grab Ang's gun, convinced he would need it later. Just as he hurried back, a restaurant lady stopped him, thinking he was exposed, but she just wanted him not to dirt the Jack side. But he was indeed in a rush to get big things done, and this lady was quite the hall monitor. He made it back to the villa with no drama, and Beck confidently promised that after this job, Jack would officially be hired at $5,000 a month. If he performed well, he'd get bumped to $10,000, and Jack eagerly accepted as they made their way to Duffy's safe house. Duke didn't want to be looked down upon, so he stuck close, but Jack played it safe like something out of Scorpion Mission. Jack wanted just this, having done his homework. Duke had been a cop and surely understood that safety's up front. But there wasn't a soul in the house. The real danger was behind him, and Duke finally realized had been had. He thought Jack was an undercover cop and gave up, but Jack was no pushover. With one bang, it all went south. Jack kicked off a little performance, launching a responsible shooting spree in the house. To add to the drama, he even shot himself, and lastly, to dispose of evidence, stuffed a few cans into the microwave. As long as he wasn't at the scene, everyone would think it was an explosion, and Jack emerged as the lucky one. And don't forget to subscribe.